Hey folks, I'm Rob Franek, Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review. I am broadcasting live from the safe harbor of my mom's house. She's right off camera in northern New Jersey. If you've been watching this series, you know that I evacuated New York City with my entire family. So we're broadcasting live every day, right from here. Questions that you are volleying to the Princeton Review through our social channels and certainly through YouTube. Today's topic is, what happens if the SAT or the ACT get postponed again? Folks, let us just all huddle around this theme and know that if you are preparing for the SAT, the ACT, AP exams, or any other large test, you are probably feeling, and rightfully so, that you're on a plane going through the air whilst the plane is being built. It's hard not to, but it's also good to remember that it's not just you. This is millions and millions of students all across the planet that are feeling that same way. And we certainly, at the Princeton Review, are feeling those repercussions on our side of the fence, but know and know well that we are teachers and tutors at heart. We are here for you. I'm going to be broadcasting daily. Many of my colleagues are going to be doing the same thing. Folks, if there are questions and things that you want us to cover, volley them to us through our social channel, and we will talk about them and try to solve them as best as we possibly can. Let's get back to the topic. Now, we're talking about the SAT and the ACT. If they get postponed again, let's just look at this from a slight 30,000-foot level. If you were sitting for the early March administration of the SAT, the late March retake administration of the SAT, the May administration of the SAT, you will know cancel, cancel, cancel. And if you were taking the ACT in April, you will know that it is also canceled. So the next time that you can take either the SAT or the ACT is the June administration of both tests. But you know as well as I know that there's no guarantee that those tests are going to stay on the books. So let's talk about different scenarios around the SAT and the ACT, postponed, not postponed, canceled, and so on. We have 5 of those scenarios directly for you. Scenario number 1, if both June dates get canceled, but new dates get added throughout the summertime. Folks, you might not need to wait for the next administration of the SAT to happen, right? So the SAT is happening right now on the books for early June. The next time on the books that you can take the SAT is going to be at the end of August. Similarly, the ACT, June and July administration. But if this is true, we're going to look to the College Board for guidance, College Board who creates the SAT. This could be a great coup for students that want to take tests during the summertime. Here's the quote directly from the College Board as they've hinted that this might happen. The College Board will provide future additional SAT testing opportunities for students as soon as possible in place of canceled administrations. We'll be as flexible as possible to give students the best chance to show their skills and stay on the path to college. First of all, that's awesome, College Board, but you know what we haven't heard? We have heard absolute radio silence from the ACT, the creators of the ACT test. They have made no such inclination that that is going to happen. Now, as we talked about, there are 2 summer administrations of the ACT, June and then July. So they might just be hedging their bets, but we're going to wait to see. And as soon as we hear from the ACT about those summer administrations, we're going to report them directly out to you. Scenario 2. Either or both exams are going to become take-home. Well, folks, this is an interesting scenario because the College Board, as we said before, creates the SAT. And if you've been watching these videos, you know that they also are responsible for the creation of the AP exams. Now, AP exams, you know this as well, but we're going to just map it out for you, big, broad brushstrokes. The AP exams have changed for the May 2020 administration. You know that they're no longer going to be the 3-hour-plus exams that they were in 2019 and prior, but they're going to be now 45-minute free response questions. They're going to be open book and open notebook. So here's the question. Will those things actually happen for the SAT and the ACT? Now, there's 3 quick reasons why this is probably not going to happen for either one of those exams. First reason, number 1, and I'm going to say this as well, I'm going to say this a couple times just so that we make sure that we get it into our nuggets, is it if it isn't uniform, it isn't fair. If it isn't uniform, it isn't fair. We've talked about the priority of testing companies is to ensure testing security and testing integrity, right? If they can't do that, then the tests are not of great value. So now we're going to look to the AP exams just for some precedent, just for some guidance right here as well. If you're a student and you are planning to take the AP exams come May of 2020, the 5+ million students who will be in that same boat as you are literally going to be taking the same exam experience as every other student. So everybody that takes the May 2020 administration of those AP exam, it is going to be an apples to apples comparison. So will the test scores. There's going to be uniformity in the experience and hence the test scores. Now that's wonderful for AP exams, but that same logic, that same strategy does not hold true for the SAT and the ACT for obvious reasons. You know as well as I that many students, thousands and thousands of students have already taken the SAT and the ACT in its previous incarnations, which were face-to-face in a testing center with a real live proctor in front of the room. So folks, the pre-March 2020 SAT and ACT and the post-2020 SAT and ACT are no longer apples to apples. So we need to understand that, and just thinking about those things and why that will play into the fact of not taking them on in an online environment. Okay, the second reason, AP exams are niche tests. They test on your ability to do college level analysis in one particular subject area. Now the SAT and the ACT are very different exams, right? They're general skills tests. So if we look at the brochures from the SAT and ACT, you will know that the SAT and ACT assume that a general skills test are skills that you will have acquired throughout your high school career. Now that may or may not be true, but the truth is that the difficulties lie in just the administration of such colossal exams, the SAT and the ACT. So we think about just providing students the same access across not only nationally, but globally to ensure that those students have the same access to technology, the same access to good Wi-Fi to take those exams. So those are other roadblocks in keeping a remote experience from the SAT and the ACT on the table. The third, and again, we're going to make this comparison with the AP exams. The AP exams are designed to take in March, right at the end of your academic course, right? And that makes complete sense. Now, the SAT and the ACT, again, are very different exams. You can take the SAT and the ACT throughout high school. You can literally take the SAT and the ACT in freshman year. Now, the truth is that most students don't do that. They want to take the SAT and the ACT, or they do take the SAT and the ACT in their junior year or early in their senior year, because the truth is that there would be much more difficulty in changing the AP dates rather than just shifting and or canceling the SAT and ACT dates. Okay, scenario 3, and this is an interesting one as well. There are no new test dates added, and there are no at-home options offered. Now just think about that for a second. No new test dates and no new at-home offerings. Folks, you know as well as I what the repercussion is going to be. As we said before, the only dates that we have on the calendar now for those postponed and canceled SAT and ACTs are the June dates for both. There's no guarantee that those dates are going to happen, but what's going to happen right now for those June dates and then future dates is that there's going to be an incredible surge of people that are going to want to register and sit for those SAT and ACT scores dates come June. If those dates don't persist, then all of that interest, that surge of humanity wanting to take those exams are going to move on to the fall of this year. Now that's going to have a couple of repercussions. One, just the complexity overall for the amount of students that are going to want to take those tests at any one time. But here's the other repercussion. Number one, you're simply going to have less opportunity to retake the SAT or the ACT simply because of test cancellations, right? You're going to have less opportunities to take those exams because there's going to be less dates for you to take them. The next thing is there's going to be less opportunity to superscore. Now we've talked about superscore many times at the Princeton Review, but just to summarize it very quickly, a superscore is taking your best sections of any administration of either the SAT or the ACT, taking the best scores and then section scores and then moving them up into one super score, putting you in the best light for the ACT or the best light for the SAT. there's going to be fewer super scores because there's simply going to be fewer administration of those tests to super score. So that can have an effect certainly on college admission overall. Now, as I said before, we are longtime teachers and tutors at the Princeton Review. We are 4,000 teachers and tutors strong. Our advice to you right now is to prep and to practice for the SAT and the ACT with this additional time that you have. Folks, you have the opportunity right now to be awesome at the SAT and the ACT. So in that first try, whether that be the June date or in the fall, it doesn't matter. You have the opportunity to do so well, have your best score on that first exam. Please do focus on those things, and if we can be of help, certainly reach out. We mentioned this next one in past videos, but it's good to mention it again. As test dates continue to get canceled and postponed, what is the repercussion going to be on the college admission side of the fence? And one of the things that we noted just the other day was the idea of colleges and universities becoming test optional. Now, there are many test optional schools now, and they've already been adding to that queue of test optional schools as well. And the definition of test optional is simply that a college or university does not require, you needn't submit your SAT and your ACT scores for academic admission to be evaluated. But here's the thing, and this is my job at the Princeton Review, to make sure that you're as savvy as possible about this process of college admission, testing included. Here's the thing, if a school is test optional, you need to ask that school, do they consider the SAT and the ACT scores if I want to be considered for academic scholarships? And I think that you might find that many schools do. So I just want you to have no blinders in this process and to be able to filter and focus for the things that you need to know. But to ask a test optional school if they require the SAT and ACT scores not for academic admission, but for scholarship dollars, let's make sure that we're savvy about this point. And again, on this point of reaching out to schools, folks, you have an opportunity here to build relationships, strong relationships with school administrators, from college presidents to deans of admission to admission counselors to faculty to administrators. Folks, that will be a virtual build, right? But that doesn't mean that those relationships are not going to be as strong or stronger for you come this summertime or certainly come the fall. So take on that opportunity. Scenario 4. What if some June test dates are canceled? Now, this is an interesting scenario. This just to simplify it, it means that what if certain parts of the country have the SAT and the ACT tests going on while other parts do not? And what happens if one type of exam is offered and the other one is not? Now, folks, this is kind of difficult because it would be horrifying for this to happen, but the truth is, from our long experience at the Princeton Review, this is likely not going to happen, certainly for the June administration of these tests, for both the SAT and ACT scores. Now, if that changes, we are going to be the first ones on it to record a video and to put out other information on it, but right now, we believe that this is not going to happen. Number 5, now this is sort of a long look back, but number 5 is this. What happens if everything, not just the SAT and the ACT change? So this is the question of what happens if colleges change themselves? Now, as you guys know, and we'll just reiterate it for the folks that are just joining us, but colleges have changed. If you're from high school, you know that your high schools have moved online. If you're in college, your colleges have likely been dismissed or will likely be dismissed through the rest of the spring semester. So your classes are all virtual as well. But what happens if the repercussions of COVID-19 extend through the summertime and extend into the fall? Well, that means that colleges certainly are going to remain viable, but they're going to remain viable in a virtual environment. So we want to make sure that that is something that you guys know about and that could affect your experience from an admission perspective as well. Folks, this is all to say that many of these scenarios, testing, admission, financial aid, recruitment events, all the things that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks are in constant flux. You can certainly rely on us to give you as much information as possible. As I had alluded to before, I have several Princeton Review colleagues who are teaching live stream classes, SAT, ACT, the full range of graduate and professional school classes. Folks, you can rely on us. We are going to be here continuously, daily, for you, reporting out information that you want to know. Please do volley questions to us, directly to me, or to our full team through any Princeton Review social channels. Again, Rob Franek, Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review, signing off from Northern New Jersey. Thanks so much.